Good Saturday morning, South Florida. Welcome to the weekend. I'm Omar Lewis.
And I'm Keil. Hurricane Nate becoming a weekend worry for the Gulf Coast. The Cat 1 storm continuing to move north this morning.
And a live look outside our North Bay Village studios on this Saturday morning. Not a bad start to the weekend, but let's see what Mother Nature has in store for your Saturday.
That's right. Meteorologist Carlene Chavis in the Plex with the first forecast. Carlene? And Tropical Storm Nate now officially Hurricane Nate with nearly 24 deaths. Officials are not taking the storm lightly, especially in New Orleans, where officials hope an aging pump system will help keep out rising water. Gassed up, stocked up, and ready for tropical trouble. Neighbors on the Gulf Coast readying for Hurricane Nate after it swept through Central America.
But they got a levee behind us. If that breaks, people will be underwater.
Extreme conditions in New Orleans over the city's aging drainage pumps. Going untested, several failing during summer rains. Officials now working overtime to keep them running. This as hurricane watches, warnings, and state of emergencies are issued before the storm hits the region this weekend. From Grand Isle, Louisiana to the Florida-Alabama border. With Florida in the cone of concern, Governor Rick Scott declaring a state of emergency for 29 counties and not ruling out evacuations.
But don't take a chance. I mean, why would you take a chance with your family's life? You know, don't take a chance.
Nate isn't anywhere near the size and power of recent hurricanes Irma, Harvey, or Maria, but officials still aren't taking any chances. The New Orleans mayor with this to say.
I want this to be set out very clearly to all of the nursing homes and all of the facilities in New Orleans that are caring for the elderly. You are responsible for their safety. If you do not have a generator, go get one.
The stern warning comes after nursing home patients died at the rehabilitation center at Hollywood Hills in the wake of Hurricane Irma, lacking power and air conditioning. A serious situation as the high winds and heavy rains are ready to clip Cozumel, Mexico. Residents here prepping for the worst and not long before. Nicaragua already slammed, at least 11 people killed here. Roads flooded, others collapsing as water runs under. Another deadly scene in Costa Rica after the wet weather caused mudslides that swallow homes. Then to Honduras, where people are still cleaning up from the storm after it swept through. And the New Orleans mayor has already issued a mandatory curfew that goes into effect tonight. More now from that carjacking victim coming under the gun. And police working an alarming abduction. They're searching for Joel Delgado, accused of abducting his 4-year-old daughter last Saturday. Police say he picked her up from her mother at an apartment in Opa-locka, but never returned. Delgado was driving a white 2016 Chrysler 300 with a Florida tag of L63ML. If you spot it, call 911. And BSO wants to catch this man for stealing laptops. He has distinct tattoos on his left arm. They say he worked with an accomplice to rip off a South Florida business. It happened on August 29th at the Puppy Boutique store along North Federal Highway and Northeast 40th Street in Oakland Park. Here's another look at him. If you know who he is, call Crime Stoppers. Ahead on Today in Florida, a big-time Broadway musical coming home to South Florida. We're giving you a peek at a show based on an iconic South Florida love story. Gloria and Emilio Estefan on their feet, hitting the red carpet for a musical close to their hearts. And they want you to get on your feet as their hit Broadway musical takes center stage in Miami. Launching pumpkins into the sky in Denver, Colorado, Pumpkin Chunkin' Chuckers from across the country gather for the annual event. Teams build pumpkin launching machines and compete to see who can send a pumpkin flying the farthest.
Say that 5 times. Pumpkin chunkin' punk chunkers. Yeah. And it's pumpkin too, not pumpkin. There's a difference, right?
Exactly.
Country twang
I
there.
made sure I had that.
You got it down. You got it down.
Coming up on Today in Florida, a man jumping into action when a little boy gets into big trouble. And that does it for this edition of Today in Florida. I'm Ann Keil.
And I'm Omar Lewis. We're back in just 2 minutes with more news, and we'll see you then.
We begin this half hour with a quick check on weather. Meteorologist Carlene Chavis in the Plex with the first forecast. Carlene? A South Florida police chase ends with a suspect shot and killed. It started yesterday morning when police served a warrant in northwest Miami-Dade to 52-year-old Ernesto Padron. The suspect fled the scene, carjacking 2 vehicles before jumping into the Miami River. Police surrounded Padrone before they say they were forced to fire. And the highest tides of the year are making waves here in South Florida. The king tide, a seasonal high tide that happens when the sun, moon, and earth align, creating a stronger gravitational pull, leaving streets across South Florida underwater. The king tide event began earlier this week and will last through next week.
Please come to the corner. Can you please come to the corner? To the corner. I got a guy shot in the corner.
Dramatic new video of the pure panic inside taxi cabs seconds after shots rang out in Las Vegas. Cab drivers rushing to rescue people on the streets, turning into makeshift ambulances for the wounded. The calm before the storm. It's a phrase getting a lot of attention. The Good Samaritan who helped lift up that SUV and pull the little boy to safety, sharing his story with us. 7's Brandon Byer reports.
And Mother Nature made it look easy. Now we have to use cranes and all that other stuff.
Oh, gosh.
What a mess. All right. Still ahead this morning from this.
It's what's on the menu when we grab a bite with Bunkies. Flair, flavor, and lots of feathers taking over South Florida this weekend. Carnival will bring the sights, smells, and sounds of the Caribbean. Really exciting.
Yes.
And I'm Keil. Today's top stories, plus a check on weather coming up in just minutes.